Hi everyone, Abigail Hall here. So today my dad has given me a challenge. My dad has made it very clear to me that he is very keen on making stamp collecting more accessible to everyone. There is a common misconception that less and less people are interested in collecting stamps as they are more interested in the internet, video games, and social media. However, my dad has a different opinion. He believes that stamp collecting has always been in competition with other hobbies, such as sports and arts and so on. The problem, in his opinion, is that stamp collecting has become a sophisticated and specialised hobby. Whilst this has been good for leading to prices rising for stamps, it has become a more daunting hobby for people to start with. So my dad said to me, Abby, I want you to make a video on how to start collecting stamps. So this is all my own research and what I think. There is reported around 60 million stamp collectors worldwide, making it one of the most popular hobbies in the world. This is surprisingly continued on with the millennials as they strive for a vintage aesthetic. Despite what people may think, the younger generations have found a way to combine their love for the past with their current society, making trendy Instagram accounts where they can post their latest finds, and joining Facebook pages where they can communicate with other like-minded collectors. Stamp collecting has become a hobby for the artistic people who color coordinate their stamps and turn their stamps into beautiful pictures. The great thing about being a stamp collector is that there are so many different themes of stamps you could collect, making it a great hobby to pair with other interests you may have, such as bird watchers can pick up stamp collecting and focus on those stamps which feature birds, or someone who enjoys fishing can collect stamps which feature fish on them. There are so many other examples which demonstrate how stamp collecting continues to be the leading hobby in the world. When beginning a stamp collection, the first thing you should do is decide what you want to collect. As I have already said, there are so many themes that you could pick from. You could go from animals to countries to sports and so on. The list is extensive, giving you as the collector the opportunity to narrow in on a particular theme for your central focus. Once you have decided a theme, now you need to pick a stamp album. To start with, you should decide on how big you want your collection to be so that you know what size of a stamp album you should get. Then there are different types of albums for you to consider, such as the fast-bound album, which is like a book. Or you could get a binder with loose leaves to place inside. The advantage to this is being able to rearrange the loose leaves and having space to add as you collect. There are also hingeless albums which have transparent sleeves which make it easy for you to just slot your stamps in wherever you want. You will also need access to a stamp catalogue which will have a list of all the stamps, their prices and their value. It will provide a complete detailed list of all the postage stamps issued by every country in the world since the very first postage stamp. You can access some of these catalogues online, such as the Stanley Gibbons Simplified Catalogue of Stamps of the World. This comes in 6 large volumes, but you can also access this information by subscribing to an online subscription. You will also need some basic equipment, such as a blunt-edged tweezers, so that you can handle your stamps with care, and a magnifying glass, which you can even get as an app to download onto your phone. This is to help you get a better look at your stamp and to see if you can spot any errors made on the stamp to make it more valuable. There are plenty other more specialized tools of the trade, such as a special device to view watermarks on the back of the stamps. But for a beginner, a magnifying glass and tweezers is all you need to get going. If you are buying mint stamps which have never been used, please do not mount them with a hinge in your stamp album. The gum in the back is a huge part of your value. The condition of the stamps you purchase will have a huge impact on how expensive they are. Perfect quality stamps can be worth hundreds of times more than poor quality examples. Please take a look at the basic condition gradings for stamps. So firstly, we have a mint never hinged stamp, which is usually the most valuable as it has never been used or mounted in a stamp album. Then we have the mounted mint stamp, which was never used for postage but has hinge marks from being mounted in a past stamp album. Then there is the mint no gum stamps, which have also never been used for postage, but the gum has been washed away and therefore is worth a fraction of a mint never hinged example. Then we have the fine used stamp, which has been used for postage with light but clear cancellations which do not obliterate the stamp design. The least valuable stamp is the used stamp, which has been used for its sole purpose of postage. You can also get cover stamps, which are stamps used for postage but are still on the envelope. Another area which you could focus on as a collector is the postal history. This covers areas such as airmail, which began in 1918 when aeroplanes were a fairly new invention. Pilots would fly in all different types of weather just to deliver a person's mail. This would lead to frequent crashes, with 34 airmail pilots dying from 1819 through to 1927, leading on to disaster mail, which is another interesting area of stamps where you could collect stamps from post which have suffered through airplane crashes or from shipwrecks. This will give the stamp you collect a story behind them, making them more interesting to those who are fans of history. Once you have narrowed down your specialty and have your equipment ready, you'll need a place to buy your stamps. Your choice for where to get your stamps are numerous, but include reputable stamp dealers, bidding at online auctions, buying new stamp issues from the post office, taking stamps off your mail which you have received. There is a special technique to this, which I might tell you about in another video, visiting stamp exhibitions, or joining a stamp club where you can swap stamps with other collectors. When you're deciding where you want to buy and what you want to buy, you need to make a decision up front before you start. Do you want to collect for fun, or do you want a collection to have a value which may go up in the future to sell or to pass on to your loved ones as inheritance? If you want your collection to hold its value and go up in value over time, you need to focus on buying the best quality stamps. Also, it will only be the rare stamps which you will buy which will count. Now that everything is in place and sorted, the hunt for the stamps is on. And this is where the real fun starts, in searching for your next collection. The most important thing to remember is your collection is personal to you. You can collect whatever you want, however you want. A word of warning though, once you catch the collecting bug, there is no going back. If you want help or advice in starting your first or growing a current collection, you can contact us by email at info@justcollecting.com or by phone on +44 01534 63 9998. Thank you so much for watching, and please take care.